Assalamualaikum guys, my name is Myron and I welcome you all to my channel. So today we are going to study the concept of resistance in electricity and magnetism, or you can say current electricity. But before we start the concept of resistance, we have to understand the difference between electromotive force, whose short term is EMF, or can be represented by capital E as well, and potential difference, that is represented by PD or V. First of all, if we define potential electromotive force है क्या कि ये वो वर्क डन है जो एक पर यूनिट चार्ज और सिंगल चार्ज करता है मूविंग अराउंड द कंप्लीट सर्किट. It refers to the work done per unit charge and moving around the complete circuit. Wait a second, I'll be just back. और electromotive force is the amount of chemical energy converted to electrical energy per unit charge and moving around complete circuit. Now the question is, where from does this chemical energy come from? If you have studied the topic of work energy power in Newtonian mechanics, you must have studied that battery stores has a store of chemical energy. Battery stores energy in the form of chemical energy, and it is then converted into electrical energy. Whereas if we talk about potential difference, consider this circuit, which I label circuit A, and these are 2 points X and Y. The work done per unit charge in moving between these two specific points is known as potential difference. It is the work done per unit charge in moving around per unit charge while moving from one point to other, or you can say between 2 points. Or it is the electrical energy converted to other forms of energy when per unit charge moves between 2 points. Now we can say that we can officially dive into the concept of resistance. It is represented by capital R, and just like many other definitions in our syllabus, resistance also has a mathematical definition instead of a theoretical one. Just like if I give you example of another mathematical definition, we have studied the concept of refractive index in the topic of waves. Just like it is the ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction, similarly, resistance is the ratio of potential difference. Wait a second, I have forgot to mention the unit of these two quantities. After that, we will study resistance. The formula of electromotive force, you can derive it by the definition that work done per unit charge, that is electromotive force is equals to work upon per unit charge, that is Q. It's a scalar quantity since work done is also a scalar quantity. And if you know the reason, that's very well. But if you don't know the reason, you can just memorize that it is a scalar quantity. Work done is a scalar quantity because it is the product of dot product of two vector quantities, that is force and displacement. And according to the rules of mathematics, the dot product of two vector quantities is always a scalar quantity. Its unit is joules per coulomb or volts. These all things also apply to potential difference. Now let us study resistance. Resistance can be expressed in the form R is equals to potential difference divided by per unit current. Or you can say R is equals to V over I, where V is the unit of potential difference and I is the unit of current. Now we can define its definition using this formula, that it is the ratio of potential difference applied to per unit amperes of current. If we discuss about its SI unit, its SI unit is volts per amperes, or you can say ohm. This unit is recommended in the exam to write instead of this unit, although it is correct, but it is named after a scientist Ohm who developed the concept of resistance. Now we are going to discuss the factors that affect resistance by either increasing or decreasing it. Factors affecting resistance. before studying these factors, you have to understand two key relationships. We already know that resistance is the ratio of potential difference applied to per unit amperes of current. If we keep potential difference constant, now we can define two relationships. The first one is, if we keep potential difference constant, therefore resistance is inversely proportional to current. जितना ज्यादा करंट फ्लो हो रहा है इसका मतलब उतनी कम रेजिस्टेंस है, और जितना कम रेजिस्टेंस है करंट है उतनी ज्यादा रेजिस्टेंस है. एंड इफ वी conceptually understand resistance, it is the hindrance that electrons face while flowing, thus decreasing or increasing the amount of current that is their flow. Secondly, if we keep current constant, so resistance is directly proportional to potential difference. By increasing potential difference, resistance increases, and by decreasing potential difference, resistance decreases. The first factor is using potential difference against I graph. We have kept potential difference on y-axis and current on x-axis. Suppose I keep the change in potential difference constant, that is of 2 units every time, as you can see here, and plot a graph. Since this is a straight line graph passing through origin, since if we keep resistance constant, although we have not studied in an official manner, if we keep resistance constant, potential difference is directly proportional to current. As you can see here, the difference between the current values is constant everywhere. You can visually express this. For the same change in potential difference, there is same change in current. Therefore, when potential difference is increasing by same manner, current is also increasing by same manner, which keeps the resistance constant. Therefore, if we increase potential difference and increase current by the same ratio, resistance remains constant. The second factor that we are going to study is resistance and length of wire, or you can say metal conductor. Suppose this is metal conductor A, which has a total of 3 positive ions. When an electron passes through this conductor, it will collide with these particles and will lose some of its energy. But when I increase the length, the number of positive ion increases due to the increase in mass of the due to increase in length and consequently the increase in mass of metal conductor, and electron passes through it. It will collide with more particles and will face more hindrance, which is termed as resistance. Therefore, resistance of a wire is directly proportional to length, because by doubling the length, number of metal positive ions increases. Therefore, electron collides more frequently, losing more of its energy and facing more resistance, thus decreasing. Hence, it takes more time to flow. Thus, as per the equation, I is equals to Q over T. Time taken increases, due to which current decreases and determining its resistance. The third factor is resistance and cross sectional area. Suppose this is metal conductor Y, X, which has these positive ions, and at a time one electron can flow. Therefore, there is a resistance of electrons to flow, as less number of electrons can flow at a time. But if a thick metal conductor is taken or of greater cross sectional area termed as A, more electrons can flow at a time. Thus decreasing the resistance. Therefore, cross sectional area is inversely proportional to resistance, as by increasing cross sectional area, more number of electrons can flow, and if more number of electrons can flow, therefore more total amount of charge can flow, and thus increasing the resistance and increasing the current and decreasing the resistance. And if you have a question that by increasing the cross sectional area there will be more number of ions, but if you are checking properly, each electron still collides with the same number of electrons as previous. Therefore, this factor does not affect the resistance in this case. Our last factor would be temperature and resistance. Suppose this is a metal conductor and initially it is at 30 degrees Celsius and its molecules are vibrating at lower amplitude. But if I increase temperature and raise it to 60 degrees, we have already studied in thermal physics that particles will gain energy. As a result, they will vibrate vigorously. Therefore, an electron would collide. They will collide with the electron more frequently, thus increasing the resistance and increasing the hindrance for it to flow. That is resistance. Therefore, we can write that by increasing resistance, molecular vibration increases. Thus, ions collide with particles more frequently, thus increasing its resistance to flow or hindrance to flow. In this video, that's all from my side. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.